Pelvic Meatloaf, I Am Your Pain. So this is a song that I've had for years on my phone, and when I pulled it up to learn this, I realized that I had it on a playlist of about 12 to 14 metal songs that just, in my opinion, stand above most other songs, in that they come out of the gate with some serious horsepower and really elicit a lot of adrenaline when you're listening to the songs. And with those songs, I've got Napalm Death, Ministry, Damage Incorporated by Metallica, and a couple Sepultura songs. Yet, off this album, I've got 3. So that's a statement. You know, a band that really never made it mainstream is putting out some quality material. So I'm hoping that somehow this is grabbing people's attention that may be not aware of the band, and once you hear the song, the playthrough, and go through the tab, you know, they're going to grab your attention. So the tuning on this song is E, but it's a slight hint flat. The riffs. So let's start off at the riff from 0 seconds to 16 seconds. I would think that I've been playing power chords enough that it wouldn't be that much of a challenge, but you know, the slides weren't easy for me. What worked for me, and I'll give you a tip, hopefully if you have a challenge it'll work for you, relax. Sometimes when you're playing metal, you want to be tight. You know, you want to be flexed out, tight, fingers tight, and kind of precision and percussive. But I found on the slides that fluid and relaxed tend to work a lot better. The riff at 17 seconds to 37 seconds. I point this out because it reminds me of Sepultura's Arise album. And so this particular album, I think, came out like 97. Arise, I don't know, let's just guess 93 or something like that. But Arise changed the landscape of metal. And these guys did a couple things that is exactly how I used to play, except they did it better than I did back in the 90s. There was a tab that came out in Guitar Player magazine or something of that nature, where they talked about fretboard economy. And what it was is, if you're switching between power chords, you know, switch off different fingers, maybe first and third on one power chord, second and fourth on the other. And they were talking about that on Dead Embryonic Cells. Well, these guys are essentially doing that on the 37 seconds to 47 seconds. It's keeping a finger in place, your second finger, and then they're doing the first and third fingers for the first and third frets. And man, I used to do that all the time. But, you know, they did it better, and they recorded it. So I just enjoyed this song because it was like, man, if I would have been better and would have wrote a song back in the day, I would have wrote it like this. But they're the ones that pulled it off. So they had the Sepultura influence, which, you know, you got to respect that. So let's take a look at page 2 and see if there's any riffs that stand out on that. Nothing's really standing out to me on page 2. Let's take a look at page 3. You know, like many good metal songs of the era, there's no solo. What they have is a little interlude area with some tremolo dives, and so I can't. I'm lacking an adjective. Entertaining, or I don't know. It's just standing out. There's DRI did it. They didn't do a solo. So yeah, just a bunch of random dives, and it works quite great. Oh, something else I wanted to talk about on this song. In the era that this song was written, industrial music was really taking some, not taking some ground, but they were gaining a lot of ground. And the reason being is, techno was popular in the clubs, but industrial, they found a way of putting horsepower into songs without guitar. And so you had bands like Front 242 and Nine Inch Nails starting to get on this heavier edge. And so one of the cool things that Pelvic Meatloaf did is they incorporated, I'm pretty sure, a click track, because I remember watching them play this song live. And, in order to be in time with their sound effects, I believe the drummer was playing with headphones and did have a click track. And that was kind of novel in that, at least on the thrash scene, there was this thing where you wanted to have the tempo of live, and it was always faster. Slayer would talk about it. It's like, we record at one speed, but when we play live, it's a whole nother thing. So I got to give it to the Pelvic Meatloaf guys on this one, is that they had the discipline to say, okay, let's keep the tempo the same. We're going to play to the click track. And it's also a song where it works without those sound effects in it. And I think I saw a video when I was learning this song where they don't do it anymore. So, it's kind of cool. They've got the leeway either way and the discipline to play to the click track. So let's take a look at tab sheet 4. Kind of more the same. And tab sheet 5 is more the same, except you'll notice when there'll be a last, we'll call it an outro section at the 4-minute 18-second mark. It's a little tough to get the changes, and my recommendation for you is he's singing in patterns. So there's this one of the greatest parts of this song, in my opinion, is at the 4-minute 31-second to 4-minute 34-second mark, and it's the end where he's doing the downward chug on the E string, and it's just got so much horsepower. And so it's kind of hard to count this riff out. It's kind of an interesting riff with the way you're doing the pull-offs under the open E from the 1st and 3rd fret. So what I ended up doing is listening to his voice pattern. So he'd sing it. He'd sing a phrase, I guess you'd call it, and then there would be a hit on the pattern of the riff would go. There would be a hit on the 1st and 3rd fret, and I would count that out, and there would be 3. So he would talk, boom, 1st and 3rd fret, and then the pattern of the riff, 1st and 3rd fret again, pattern of the riff, and then it's coming in time for the chug. So use the vocals as your key, unless you're able to count it out, and it's not a problem for you. And the last riff, is a little different, but it, you work on it a few times, and it'll come together for you. So actually, I hope some new people find this song, because if you're linked to it from any of my other songs, you kind of know what you're going to get, and you're going to get some good thrash with this song. Peace out.